got to ask you right out of the gate, how are you holding up through all this? You've been the face of the team on television for years. Is it hard not to get caught up in the hype?
I get caught up. I've been getting caught up since 1977. So it's funny how so many people expect a broadcast like ours, which is literally titled Blue Jays Central, for example, to be balanced at all times. And in some circles, balance is important. Hockey night in Canada, for example, if you're doing a game between the Maple Leafs and the Senators, or the Flames and the Edmonton Oilers on a Saturday night, there needs to be a balance there. But I like to believe that since there's been, one team in Canada for decades, and going back to 77, just two teams in this country at the time, and our broadcasts are entirely devoted to a single team, that balance is difficult. And for me to sit here and say I'm not a fan of the Blue Jays, well, I'm here doing what I do because I was a fan of the Blue Jays from the time I was 9 years old. So it would make sense for me to carry that fandom into what we're witnessing here in 2025. I try not to give too much of that away on the air, but it's impossible for me to sit at the Rogers Center with 44,000 people and not be moved by what's happening on the field, especially the way the last two games went.
We talked a little bit about the national pride and that this Toronto Blue Jays have become Canada's team. They're not just Toronto's team. And we have viewers and fans coast to coast. And just because of what's going on in the world today, rhetoric about the 51st state, tariffs, is there something, is it feeling a little different, Jamie, the rivalry or the amount of national pride people are feeling a little different this time than, say, 2015 or back in the 90s?
You have just hit a nerve, because those 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, when the Blue Jays were piling up runs on not the Chicago White Sox, not the Oakland A's, not the Kansas City Royals, the New York Yankees, the most accomplished team in the history of the game, and everybody's first enemy, I thought deeply about why the fervor in that stadium was at this pitch that I don't necessarily recall in 2015 and 2016. And then I started thinking about how this country celebrated so actively I forget what was called, the Four Nations tournament, right? Yep. The Four Nations tournament, something most of us had not even heard of 6 months before it happened. And when Canada beat the United States in overtime on Connor McDavid's goal, how it almost felt like us in this wild way standing up to this entity that wants to make us a state. And I couldn't help think about that as I was watching those baseball games over the weekend from my perch, thinking, these people are so passionate about this at a level, again, that maybe it was because the roof was open. I don't know. I don't remember it being, except when Bautista hit the bat flip home run. That place shook like an earthquake had sort of disturbed the ground. But maybe it's just a different time, right? And here are the Blue Jays, Canada's last remaining major league team, beating the New York Yankees and doing so handily. And maybe there was way more to it than just baseball. Maybe there was a political edge to the way people were feeling about it. And if that's the release some of us need, some of us who, are uneasy and pissed off about some of what we're hearing from south of the border, then let it continue. Let's see more of it, on to the next.
Right on.
Let's see them eliminate New York and take care of whoever's coming next.